Son of a I curse a lot making these videos, I hope you know.
We got no fear, no doubt, all in balls out.
Sup wrestling fans, it's a long-awaited debut of XWR's official show. We start off with the February 22nd, 2010 edition of Monday Night Raw, hosted by the legendary singer Jewel and her husband Ty Murray. We start off the night with the new World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho gloating in the ring as usual, screaming, "I'm going to WrestleMania!" Luckily Edge was there to shut Jericho up, declaring he would face Y2J at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. Frankly, wow, that was quick. I really thought that would be well into the show before we knew, for sure, who Edge was going to face, even though I was 95% sure it was going to be Jericho. Hey, caught me off guard. It's almost always a good thing. It's Viper. Edge and Jericho cleared the ring. Cena stormed his way down, declaring that he should be put up right next to Bret Hart in the list of people Vince McMahon has screwed over. McMahon comes out and explains that he gave Batista the title shot for helping him take out Bret Hart 2 weeks earlier. McMahon also goes on to point out the fact that Sheamus was also champion at No Way Out and also has a rematch clause. McMahon then explains that Batista will not defend his title until WrestleMania, and then goes on to formulate a deal to determine who, between Cena and Sheamus, should get that title shot at WrestleMania. In short, Cena must win his match later in the night. If he wins, he goes to WrestleMania to face Batista. If he loses, Sheamus gets that opportunity. Turns out his opponent is the WWE Champion, Batista. We start off the show already with two very strong segments. The only knock I'd have to have on him is John Cena. You can tell he's reading off of a script. Fans know how well he does when he just goes out there and just lets it go. Just all I'd have to say to him is just be natural. Don't read off of a script. Just go out there like The Rock, like Austin, and just improv. We already know Cena can do it. We've seen it before, and the fans have seen it enough that you can tell the difference between when he's just letting it be natural and when he's reading off of a script. And quite frankly, when Cena can just go out there and be natural, it's 10 times better. Moving on. Our next match is the final in the Divas Championship Tournament, which, by the way, I still do not understand why it was bumped off of No Way Out and relegated to a Raw mid-card match. Again, shows you where women's wrestling is going. So we have Gail Kim versus Maurice for the Divas title. It's actually a fairly good match. I like these two, both Gail Kim and Maurice. They're actually two of the better divas that are left in WWE. And Maurice dropped Gail Kim across the top rope and nailed her with the even flow DDT, or as she calls the French kiss, for the win, and regains the Divas title, I think. Or is it the women's title she had? I've stopped caring. Next segment, we see Rhodes apologizing for his actions at No Way Out, throwing the lead pipe into the Elimination Chamber, which Ted DiBiase used to take out Orton and Cena. Orton, surprisingly, seems relatively cool about this. He's saying if anyone should be blamed, it's himself. And that he arranged for a 6-man tag match to show that Legacy is in fact on the same page. After Orton leaves the shop, we see DiBiase come in and asks Rhodes how it went. Presume the conversation. Rhodes says, good. Almost too good. And DiBiase asks if they are going to keep with the plan, which Rhodes responds to a definitely. This was a very intriguing part of the night, and probably the best segment of the night, really leading to the breakdown of Legacy as a whole. The 6-man tag match up next, with all 3 members of Legacy taking on Evan Bourne, Kofi Kingston, and the new Raw superstar, Yoshitatsu. Now, the minute I saw those 3 together, I knew this was going to be one hell of a match, and it did not let me down. I would go so far as to say it tore the house down, and it was the best match of the night. In the end, when Orton seemed reluctant to tag in either of his fellow Legacy members, Rhodes tagged himself in, leading to Orton DDTing him off the second rope. Orton then climbed out of the ring and went to leave, but DiBiase cut him off and received an RKO for his trouble. This seems to point totally to a meltdown of Legacy. In fact, it was announced later in the night that DiBiase and Orton would face off next week. As Orton walks away from the match, Evan Bourne hits Airborne on Cody Rhodes for the win. It was one hell of a swerve. We go in thinking Legacy is going to turn on Orton, and he flips the script on us entirely.